Greetings, fellow Whovians. Whovian Queen here. Hope you have a good week so far. Well, I look at the 15th Doctor era, and that continues on with Lucky Day. The Doctor and Belinda arrive on New Year's Day 2007 and meet 8-year-old Conrad. Following this, Conrad investigates sightings of the Doctor in the TARDIS, seeing younger Doctor with his then companion Ruby in 2024, where he is marked as prey by a creature called the Shriek. In 2025, after stopping traveling with the Doctor, Ruby gives Conrad an interview about her encounters with extraterrestrial life on his podcast. They start dating and she gives him an antidote tagged against him being marked by the Shriek, which has recently been captured by UNIT. At a weekend away at Conrad's home village, Ruby fears she is in danger and tells Conrad she is suffering from PTSD following her experiences with the Doctor. Two Shriek appear in pursuit of Conrad, who admits he did not take the antidote. Ruby calls UNIT and their leader Kate to the village. The Shriek are revealed to be fake, part of a setup orchestrated by Conrad, whose relationship with Ruby was a ploy against UNIT. A scandal breaks and Conrad and his followers continue to perpetuate disinformation about the non-existence of aliens, discrediting UNIT. After Conrad publishes details of UNIT employees, Kate realizes he has an insider in UNIT. The insider sneaks Conrad into the building. Alerted to his presence, Kate allows Conrad to reach the command floor, where he live streams his intrusion. In order to expose Conrad's lies, Kate releases the Shriek, which hunts Conrad. With the Shriek attacking him, Conrad admits in his live stream he has been lying about UNIT. Ruby stuns the Shriek, although it manages to injure Conrad's arm. Public sentiment turns in UNIT's favor, though Colonel Abraham tells Kate that she went too far by releasing the Shriek. Ruby says to get away to overcome her trauma, and Kate offers her support when she is ready to talk. Conrad is imprisoned and the Doctor berates him for harming Ruby and his friends. The Doctor tells Conrad that he will die in prison and be forgotten by history. However, after the Doctor leaves Conrad, Mrs. Flood releases him. So let's take a look at the production of this episode, beginning with the development. Showrunner Russell T Davies wished to include an episode discussing the spread of toxic alien hatred and contacted writer Pete McTeague to write the script. McTeague had previously written episodes under former showrunner Chris Chibnall. When writing the episode, he said he wanted to take the opportunity to explore what happens to a companion after they leave the Doctor, feeling that had infrequently been done in the past. McTeague described the episode as a mix between action, romantic comedy, and gothic horror. He also compared one of the main settings to The Devil's End for the 1921 serial The Daemons, and the fact that it was a Ruby-centric story to the 2024 episode 73 Yards. Ruby was referred to as having post-traumatic stress disorder following her time with the Doctor, which Davies wanted to portray in the episode. This was also allowed McTeague to explore Kate's character further, with her willingness to go too far being something that McTeague stated would have further repercussions beyond this episode, beyond the season, even beyond this show. McTeague developed the Shriek off the idea of a four-legged creeping animal, leading to his childhood fears about dog-like creatures in the dark. He made his motivation simple, with the desire to hunt to make a monster that cannot be reasoned with and terrifying. Prior to this, the Shriek was first mentioned in Caged, a 2024 Doctor Who novel by Una McCormick. McTeague also included a number of Easter egg references to past episodes in popular culture. Lucky Day is a Dr. Light episode, which Davies said required them to find inventive ways to include the Doctor, one of which is a flashback to stories set during the previous series. The Doctor's scene with Conrad at the end of the episode takes place before the Doctor meets Belinda, revealing how the Doctor had prior knowledge of her in the Robot Revolution. The read-through took place at Wolf Studios Wales on November 7, 2023, with attendees noting a unique atmosphere due to unaware cast members' response to Conrad's reveal as a villain. And now on to the casting. Millie Gibson returns as outgoing series regular and former companion Ruby Sunday. It's the first of two appearances that Gibson is set to make during the 15th series, as well as her first appearance since the 2024 Christmas special Joy to the World. In July 2024, at the Doctor Who San Diego Comic-Con panel, it was officially announced that Jonah Hauer-King had been cast in a role that would be involved in Ruby's character arc. Further details later revealed that Hauer-King would portray Conrad, a podcaster and Ruby's boyfriend. Following the episode's broadcast, Gibson revealed in an interview that Hauer-King would also appear later on in the series. Shooting Goblin and Variety Sith who also make brief appearances as the 15th incarnation of the Doctor and his companion Belinda Chandra, respectively. Paul Jericho, who plays Alfie, had previously held the role of the Castellite in The Five Doctors. LaShoko reprised her role as newsreader Trinity Wells. Alex Jones appears as herself and was presenter on the One show interviewing Conrad. The remainder of the guest cast includes Jim Redgrave, Ruth Madeley, Michelle Greenidge, Angel Winter, Alexander Different, and Anita Dobson, as well as Nicholas Briggs in a voice role. And finally, onto filming and production design. The primary Shriek costume was constructed using fiberglass molds and clay, with the final molds eventually being injected with silicone and painted. The Shriek uses an animatronic head. The Shriek costumes used in the episode by Conrad's friends were designed as derivative versions of the primary Shriek costume. The design team at Millennium FX had a designer look at the primary Shriek costumes once and then construct the derivative version from memory to reflect the costumes in universe construction. The team had to make the costumes look convincing while also looking like rubber costumes, which proved a challenge. Shriek performers are unable to see inside the mask, requiring outside direction for the actors to know where they need to go. The inclusion of mannequins in the scene where Conrad explores the abandoned department store featuring Shriek was a result of McTeague wanting to include a callback to the first episode of Doctor Who Survived Era, Rose, which featured living mannequins called autons. Costume designer Pam Down designed Ruby's outfits with dark blue and green colors, which Gibson felt were more mature colors. One of her outfits included pinstripe suit and pants that Gibson said was reminiscent of one of David Tennant's previous outfits in the series. Like a D is directed by Peter Hoare, spelled H-O-A-R. The episode was placed in the second production block of the 15th series with the first episode, The Robot Revolution, and followed the recording of Joy to the World in the block immediately preceding. The two episodes in this block were filmed concurrently utilizing a back-to-back filming technique. Principal photography for the episode began November 14th, 2023. Gibson and Howard King were spotted filming scenes together 2 days later. Location filming was done in Cardiff City Centre on November 24th. The production team made use of Howell's department store for the aforementioned abandoned department store scene, which is similarly used as a film location in Rose. For the scene set in the village, the town of Newton Porthcawl was used, with recording taking place from November 27th to 29th. 2/3 of the budget allocated to the 6-week filming block was used during those 3 days, 3 hours of which were spent shooting 3 takes with a helicopter. So overall, I think this episode was pretty good, and it's definitely one of my favorite Dr. Light episodes, and yeah, I'll just say, I really don't know why Mrs. Flood released Conrad, but I guess it means we might see him again in the season finale or whatever, so yay. Anyway, so overall, I give Lucky Day 4 sonic screwdrivers out of 5. Well, hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it around, and if you want to see further videos, then don't forget to hit the bell icon and also subscribe to be notified by upload videos. And if you want to help support the channel further, then be sure to check my Patreon page. Link is always in the description below. Anyway, until next time, this is Hoovy and Queen saying, "Oh my giddy aunt, when I say run, run!" I'm versipillate a neutron flow. Uchuka jelly baby. Fantastic. Allons-y! Geronimo! Bottes are cool, fezzes are cool, and Stetsons are cool.